Hello, it's Julie with Cameo Hair and Beauty. As promised, I wanted to show you all a at-home DIY brow grooming tutorial. So, let me tell you what you're going to need for this. First off, a pair of scissors. These are hair cutting scissors that I happen to have at home, but you can use any type. Craft scissors, kitchen scissors, whatever you have, it all will work. You will definitely need a pair of tweezers to help pull out those hairs. And then I recommend a brow pencil with a nice little spoolie at the end. This one is by e.l.f. I really like it. Any brow pencil will do. And then the colored pencil end will help you to kind of outline the shape that you want so you don't get mixed up. So, how we will start, and this is how I always start brows, whether I'm doing my own or a client's and I'm waxing, I start by trimming the brows. You'd be amazed at how much difference you can get from just a little trimming of the brow. It changes the entire look. So, how to do that? So from the beginning of the brow to the arch, you're going to want to brush the hair upwards, okay? By brushing the hair up, you see all these longer hairs that you're going to want to trim down. Now from the arch to the end of the brow, you're going to want to brush those hairs down. And that'll show you which ones gotta go, gotta get trimmed up. Now, another thing you could use if you don't have like a spoolie like that is just a comb, a regular comb like this. Works the same. Brush up, brush down on the end, and as you can already see, directly where I need to trim those. So, we'll go in and do that. And I just come in and I trim all those little stragglers that were hanging out. Rebrush it, see how you did. As you can see, yeah, a nice even line now. Now I'll go into part 2 of the brow. Brush those down. They needed to be trimmed, and I'm just simply going to get all those loose hairs trimmed off. Now sometimes you're going to have to hold the spoolie as you trim, depending on how coarse your brows are or how much they move around. But I'm pretty happy with that. You can already kind of tell a difference, I think, on each side. Now we'll go on to the other side. Now as you can see, that already gives you a really nice brow shape to begin with. Now, from there, after doing that, I'll go in with my pencil and I'm going to create the shape that I want. Now, general rule of thumb, the easiest way to find your arch and find the right shape for you is to take something that lines up. You can take, you know, a comb or something straight, a nail file, whatever you have on hand. You're gonna line it up with the base of your nose and you're just gonna go straight up. That's where your brow should technically start if we're talking about it being, you know, geometrically pleasing to the eye. So, right there. Then for the arch, you're gonna take that same straight line and you're gonna come, and it's at this, you know, 45-degree angle. That's where your arch is going to be. So you can kind of see that. Okay. And then for the end of the brow, I'm gonna line it up. And there you can see how I have 1, 2, 3. Now my brows, my arches are kind of farther out, but you know, different face shapes are going to have a different arch point. So that's why we go about finding them this way. Now I'm going to do this side. Line it up. That's a little messed up. There we go. It's a good spot. So basically that's saying now anything in the middle here, the unibrow, can go. This is creating just your basic shape. Now from here, I'm going to find the arch on this side. Line it up. You want to kind of go through the pupil of the eye. You want to go find the pupil of the eye is where you're kind of base it at. And just make a little mark. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now, looking at this, I've definitely messed up that side. So we're going to do that side again. Again, finding my arch. Come right here, the base of your nose, and go through that pupil. So now you can kind of see both sides I have where my arch would technically be. Find the end on this side, line it up. There you go. Now that's just a quick, easy way to find where your brow begins, middle, arch, and ends. From there, I'm going to lightly outline the eyebrow, the shape that I want. So everything outside of the lines that I draw, that's all of the hair that can be tweezed. So I'm just gonna start. What's nice about this is, you know, if you mess up, you can just wipe it off and start over. I'm kind of going with my natural brow shape that I already have. I've actually kind of been trying to grow a few hairs in because they were getting a little too thin for me. But this just kind of gives me a general guideline of what I should be following. So basically, any hairs that are outside of these lines, this color, I want to remove, I want to tweeze. So this is where your tweezers come in. I like to start in the middle, in the unibrow. No offense. If you like a unibrow, more power to you, rock your unibrow. I personally don't like having one. I'm just going in and removing one hair at a time. Now, yes, tweezing is a little more time consuming than, say, you know, waxing or threading. But when you're, you know, in isolation mode, gotta do what you gotta do to keep your brows looking good. Next, I'm just going to start going underneath the brow and taking all the hairs that are outside of my guidelines. Now, I'm not even going to go above my brow. It depends on the client, whether or not I wax usually above the brow. Generally speaking, you don't need to. It gives it a more natural look if you can keep the natural growth pattern you already have on the top of the brow. And my brows really aren't that bushy or big, so there's no reason to, and I just like the look better. But if you wanted to, you could definitely remove any stray hairs you have above the brow as well. Totally fine. It just depends on the shape you want. I'm going to go over to this side and start getting those hairs. Now, I'm going to admit the tweezers I have are not amazing. at home here. I recommend Tweezerman. They make the best, in my opinion. And getting some slanted edged ones would be nice, but this is what I have right now at home. So I'm gonna make do. I hear a dog. Hi, baby. Dogs make this quarantine so much better too. Oh, you want to be on the tutorial, baby? Another thing to remember, eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So your brows are never going to be perfectly symmetrical 100%. That's just not how we are. That's not how we're made in nature. So don't worry about it if you feel like they're, you know, a little bit off. I mean, obviously, if they're totally lopsided, there's things you can do to make them look more symmetrical. But the pattern of hair growth is always going to be a little bit different on each side, so don't fret about that. I'm pretty happy with what I got. All right. I'm using my fingers, but of course you can use cotton swabs or, you know, a towel, washcloth, whatever you have to take off the brow pencil. And now you can see I have my fresh, cleaned up eyebrows that are nice and groomed. That'll get you through another month or two before you can get in and get your brows waxed. But I think in a pinch, I see one that I want to get. I think in a pinch, this does the job. From there, brush them out, make sure you're happy. If you have any leftover stragglers you want to maybe trim, don't go too crazy with it. Just make sure and double check. All right, well, I seem to be happy with these. They're a good base for me to fill in now, so there you go. That's how you groom your eyebrows at home while you're in self-isolation mode. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.